Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. Sunday is flea market day for me here on Long Island in my hometown. They have this great flea market. I go pretty much every Sunday, and there's always guys by the million selling thousands of CDs and DVDs and sometimes laserdiscs and VHS tapes and you name it, it's there. And this Sunday, the guy who previously I bought bootlegs from was there again. He had thousands of bootleg CDs for $1 each. I really am trying not to buy, so I only bought a few, which I'll show you. But then there was a new vendor there. I'd never seen him before, and he had, oh my God, buckets and buckets, thousands of CDs, and not the common ones. And I found some pretty cool stuff there as well, which I'm going to show you. So, and boy, did I hold back. I could have bought hundreds, but I'm trying not to buy so much. Anyway, without further ado, let's see my haul from this past Sunday. Dollar CDs. Every one of these was $1. Now, you may recognize this one. You don't see this all that often out there in the wild. This is Neil Young and the Shocking Pinks. Everybody's rocking. This was those albums he did on Geffen. You know, remember he put out on Geffen all these albums that were really uncommercial. What was it? Trans, Life, Landing on Water. Then he did the compilation, which I have, Lucky 13. And one of them was this one, Everybody's Rockin'. The album's got, Old Ways, that was another one. I have that one. That one's pretty good. But anyway, Geffen wound up suing Neil Young for putting out uncommercial albums that didn't do well. And this was one of them, Everybody's Rockin', Neil Young and the Shocking Pinks. And there it is. And this was $1. They're all $1. I already listened to it. It's interesting. It's not terrible. But, you know, the whole CD, by the way, is like 24 minutes long. It's almost like, what was that one that the Robert Plant did? The Honey Drippers? Kind of reminds me of that. Here's the CDs. All of the stuff is in mint shape. But, you know, he does a cover. 24 minutes and there's covers on here. Betty Lou's got a new pair of shoes. Bright Lights, Big Cities on here, Mystery Train, Rain Into My Heart, Buddy Holly track. I thought this was kind of interesting. You know, the Shocking Pinks is the band, but, you know, you got the usual Ben Keith and Tim Drummond in the band. I thought this was kind of interesting because Neil Young kind of changed his mind on this. The compact disc audio system offers the best possible sound reproduction, which I agree with. But there you go. Neil Young and Shocking Pinks. Everybody's rocking. You don't see this one every day out in the wild, and if you do, you certainly don't usually see it for $1. All 24 minutes of it. So there you go. Let's stick that over there. Let's keep going. The guy with the bootlegs. I bought this one. This is a special one for me. Super Golden Radio Shows, number 30, Eric Clapton, live in Santa Monica, 1978. Should ring a bell, because this was a famous radio broadcast that I had on 8-track taped, and then when I got rid of my 8-tracks, it was gone. Now that I'm back into 8-tracks, I don't have it anymore. So when I saw this for $1, I was like, oh, this totally brought back memories. This was a great show. This was from the Slow Hand album. This one I got also. This was David Bowie, Resurrection on 84th Street bootleg, and this is on Stoned Records. And this was kind of cool to have. These are all silvers, you know, what you call printed real CDs. And there is the set list, obviously, from the Station to Station tour. Now, this is a very famous radio broadcast from the Nassau Coliseum in my hometown. Now, if you do have the deluxe edition of Station to Station, he did put that full concert. There it is, live at the Nassau Coliseum in '76. But this is the full show and in the box, and because I'm such a nut job, I thought it'd be easier to have a single CD of a big portion of that show. So that was fun. It was only $1. Speaking of which, here's another bootleg for $1, Jethro Tull Live. And again, there's silvers. This was on Stoned Records as well. Bootleg label I'm not familiar with. And there's the track list, and it's a pretty short CD. It's only 42 minutes long. And why did I get that? I'll tell you why. Because that is a pretty famous concert that until officially released on DVD in this great box set. And it's right there. That is the soundtrack from the Germany show from 1982. And that is the whole show. So nice to have that on CD. Enjoyed that. Let's keep going. These are cheapies in general, but I gotta tell you, this was a great CD. Hall & Oates. It's called Extended Versions. I've been getting more of these because these are like these cheapo compilations, but the ones I've been getting are the ones that are live, and it says recorded live, and I'm like, well, that's an interesting track listing for a live show. What actually is this? And what this actually is this is tracks from their first live record called Lifetime, and then tracks also from the one live at the Apollo. And they mix it together, and it's actually a great listen, great track listing, and I gotta tell you, I loved the CD. It was terrific. Hall & Oates Live. And then I got this one. I've been getting a little bit more into Tangerine Dream, and I found this one for $1. I really only got this. This is called Dream Music number 2, which is music from movie soundtracks, and thoroughly enjoyable. But I really wanted it for that Risky Business, Love on a Real Train. If you know Risky Business, that scene with Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay making love on a train, that is the soundtrack of it. Worth it for the price of admission for that alone. But really cool soundtrack. I'm a big fan of Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground, and have all the Velvet Underground stuff. And a lot of Lou Reed as well. I saw this one. This is an import, $24.99 from Virgin Records. The best of Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground. And I thought this was an interesting compilation, and I liked it. Played it already, and sounds really good. Good selection of tracks, for sure. Problem with these is, where do you file it? In my database as well. Is it Velvet Underground or Lou Reed? I'm going to go with Lou Reed. Now, I recently bought a book on Ronnie Montrose, and I don't know much about Montrose. I had his first album back in the day, don't anymore, and decided to reinvestigate him when I read this book. And I saw this CD. I'm not familiar with it. Ronnie Montrose, The Speed of Sound. So if you know this, let me know what you think about it. It's on Wounded Bird, and Wounded Bird is kind of a cool, low-budget reissue label, and you don't really find their stuff out in the wild too often. This was only $1. So this was a cool find, and we'll see if it's any good. And same with this one. I am not a big fan of Nazareth, but I think their cover of Love Hurts is incredible. And this is the Greatest Hits Live in Glasgow, called Homecoming. And there's the track listing. And I saw Nazareth in concert actually once. They were good. And there's Love Hurts and Hair of the Dog, This Flight Tonight, some of the famous songs. So for a live greatest hits, I figured for $1, why not? 3 more. Here's another bootleg. And this was Richard Thompson, live at Toad's Place, New Haven, Connecticut, August 4th, 1988. And again, this is what you call a silver real disc. It was only $1. And I'm a fan of Richard Thompson. And this is actually 2 shows, because you got the last couple songs with a full band. So looking forward to checking this out. Wall of Death right there, one of the all-time great tracks. Shoot Out the Lights. So this should be fun. And that was only $1 as well. And what else do we got? We got this one. Check this out. How cool is this? This is Elvis Costello. It's called UK. And this is a publisher's promo, 2 CDs with a real thick book here. And what this is the publisher sends this out, I guess, so people will cover his songs. And this is a song-by-song analysis of all the songs on these 2 CDs right there. And there's the songs. You got 43 songs on this compilation. Mostly Elvis Costello and a couple of other ones. Dave Edmunds doing Girls Talk. Paul McCartney, My Brave Face. This is a really cool collection. And yeah, I looked into this, digging through the racks. This was only $1. Never seen that before. Last but not least is this. You know, Phil Collins is an amazing drummer, obviously in Genesis and outside, but he was also in a band called Brand X, and I have a couple of their bootleg CDs from club shows and things like that that are really cool, you know, jazz fusion kind of thing. But this is an official release called The History, 1976 to 1980, and it was only $1 as well. So there's Phil laying there, and got a booklet. And this was a really cool find, so I will continue to investigate Brand X, the great Phil Collins, as a great drummer. So there you have it, 3, 6, 9, 12 CDs, $1 each, $12 from this past Sunday at the flea market. And it's like a drug, man, but I held back because I could have bought 50, 60 CDs. That's how many great CDs were there. But I limited it to this because my backlog, as you know, just keeps growing. So anyway, that's what I got. Let me know what you think. That's what I talk about, the golden age of buying CDs if you're in the right place at the right time. I am lucky. Not everybody has flea markets and record stores where they live. So I apologize, if that's your case. But yeah, here in Long Island, New York, man, plenty of record stores, flea markets, yard sales. This stuff is out there for next to nothing, as you see. So problem is, not enough time in the day to listen to it all. But we'll see what happens. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. If you're new to my channel, or if you're not new to my channel and you haven't hit subscribe, I would appreciate that. Help my channel to grow, and then you get notified of the new releases of my videos. But as I always like to say, thanks for watching. I will see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show.